Let's build a coffee table using epoxy resin. I got these supplies really low. The lumber costs $75. The resin is around $300. And 2 metal bases for $85. All in, I spent $460. Woo! Here's how I did it. I went to the miter station and I cut the board in half, basically doubling my yield. Went to the joiner, did one face and one edge. Went to the planer and planed both lumber pieces to the same thickness. I wanted to see how the table was going to look. It's going to be 20 inches wide. This will also help me determine how much resin I'm going to need for the center pour. But before I do that, I wanted to embellish the live edge slightly, as this is going to be a cool river table with resin poured through it, and you're going to be able to see really rustic edges. After doing that, I took a sander, I fine-tuned the edges, and here we go. Let's begin with the mold for this resin pour. I cut all my pieces, drilled holes, that way I could assemble it and deassemble it very easily. I also layered it with tape, just to make sure the lumber and the resin wouldn't adhere to the MDF. After I made the mold, I took it into my office where I have it air conditioned at 70 degrees. I leveled it out, placed my boards in, and I clamped it down. Thank you to Total Boat for sponsoring this video. Let's pour some resin. I'm using a thick set, which is a 3-to-1 ratio. 3 parts resin, 1 part partner. Combine the two together and mix for approximately 2 to 3 minutes. Add a little pigment and mix for another 2 minutes. Let's do this in several stages. The first layer is going to be a 1/4 inch thick. Then I'm going to take a heat torch and get bubbles out. Apply silicone to the edges to prevent resin overflow. Do a fingernail test 12 hours later. If your fingernail just sticks into it slightly, you can pour the next layer of resin without sanding. I'm going to be mixing in clear resin, as I want you to be able to see down into this coffee table and see the live edges. But the black resin at the bottom will prevent seeing all the way through. This is going to be a cool technique as long as I can get the clear casting correct. Apply a little resin to the sides to prevent air bubbles, and repeat. Okay, it's day 3. Yes. And I'm checking on the resin pour that we did yesterday. Hopefully the clear casting doesn't have any bubbles. Let's check it out. Ouch. I can see air bubbles everywhere. Big mistake. I should have sealed the lumber on the sides before doing the pour. By the time I did it, it was too late. So it's time to pivot. Let's sand the resin, wipe it down with a clean cloth, and a tack cloth to remove any dust, and let's mix in solid black resin and continue the pour. Time to demold the slab, pry off the bars, clean it up, and let's run it through the planer for a couple of passes on each side just to make it smooth. Sand the top and bottom, then wipe off excess dust, and pour a little water-based finish, and spray 3 coats top and bottom. Arrange how you want the metal bases to go, drill holes, install threaded inserts, install metal bases, flip it over, and let's add my label, or logo. Apply a little CA glue, a little polish, get it nice and clean, and bring it home. Line it up, level it out, wipe it down. I think this table turned out really good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one.